All right, I know you wrote this article, Dawg Pound Daily, 5 pivotal matchups for the Browns in that season opener. Number 5, Jedrick Wills, the left tackle, against Brian Burns. Burns, 25 and a half sacks in his time there. So he is kind of the guy that on the other side that can get after the quarterback. How important is this matchup?
Oh, it's massive. That's massive. And it's massive for Wills and his confidence. He's not really coming off a really good preseason showing. From everything we were hearing, it's been up and down. And to come right out of the gate and face, I know he's not one of the household names in the league, but Brian Burns gets after it. He's a guy like 55 quarterback hits since he's been in the league. He puts pressure on quarterbacks, and to do so from the blind side, that's detrimental when, the last thing the Browns can have right now is a quarterback injury to start the season. So a lot's going to be on Big Jedrick's plate. So, yeah, it's a very pivotal matchup. He needs to come out clean, and it's a tough proposition.
This one's kind of interesting as well. The fourth one, you got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah going against Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey, when he has been on the field, is really good. Hadn't been on the field a lot. The Browns are built to handle a back like Christian McCaffrey, somebody that's fast and tough in space.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the Browns, he hasn't been healthy, but they're getting a full dose of him. He's as healthy as he's going to be this first game, so I expect them to lean heavily on Christian McCaffrey. But they do kind of have an antidote in JUCO, because what the Browns are kind of telling you for their personnel, run it if you want to, go ahead, because they believe they can win that type of a game if it comes down to running game versus running game. But where McCaffrey can really hurt you is the passing game, because he's an extra receiver out there. And out of the backfield, that's hard to deal with, unless you have a linebacker with the coverage skills of JUCO. He has that speed. He could basically be a nickel corner out there with his ball skills. So I think it's a very pivotal matchup. And if they skew it right, I think we're going to see JUCO on CMC for most of the day.
Yeah, and another one that you have, the third one, Denzel Ward against DJ Moore. Moore, a really talented young wide receiver. This one's going to go a long way. If Ward in that secondary can shut down the passing game, it's going to be tough for the Panthers.
Yeah, and we kind of have a previous knowledge of how Baker plays. There's going to be some shots taken. I mean, they're just going to be. And if you had to look at a receiver on Carolina's team that's candidate number 1, it's going to be DJ Moore. And they kind of move him around a lot, but he's going to come up against Ward several times. And I know that the DBs are going to be up for this matchup. They know what's at stake. They kind of know how Baker plays, and there's going to be some big opportunities for turnovers. So Ward's got to lock down Moore. Moore's he's sudden. They're about the same size. They're in that same range. It's going to be a good matchup to watch. And I just like watching strength versus strength. And they're definitely the best on each side of the ball. And it's going to be cool to see them go toe-to-toe.
The second matchup to watch, these 5 pivotal matchups, you have David Njoku against Jeremy Chinn, the safety. This one could be huge for the offense. Yeah,
as long as Brissett is at the helm, the passing offense is going to go through the tight ends, and that means a lot of David Njoku. He's a guy that can take a short pass and take it long. He's super athletic, and they're going to try to get him involved early. But as I said in the article, I could have titled this Jeremy Chinn versus the Browns offense. I know no one's really talking about this kid nationwide, but if you put on the tape, he is phenomenal. He is everywhere. If you find the ball, you're going to find Jeremy Chinn. He's going to be nasty in the run game. He blows up screens. He can play the deep third. And he's 6'3", 220. He's got a good body style to match up with Njoku. So I think for a couple of these plays are going to come down to who makes the play. So it's going to be indicative that Njoku goes and really asserts himself physically and takes a couple of these, because it's going to be a long day for both those guys.
And, the top one is Myles Garrett against the rookie first-round tackle. And, again, Myles Garrett has to create some havoc. And Njoku will end up being a pretty good player, but it is his first NFL start. Good luck with that, young man.
Congratulations, you're the first offensive tackle taken in the draft, the first offensive player taken in the draft. Your door prize, Myles Garrett, week 1. That is a frightening proposition for that young man. And the Carolina Panthers are going to do everything they can to help him out, sliding protections, moving the pocket. but there's only so much you can do. Myles Garrett is a force of nature. And if you look at how other teams kind of handle it, they'll bring a tight end to chip or use the running back. But the Panthers are not going to send Christian McCaffrey to chip Myles Garrett. If they want to keep that young man healthy, they're going to keep him away from 95 as much as possible. So it's going to come down to Ike Ekwonu and Myles Garrett one-on-one several times. And I like Myles Garrett's odds in that matchup. And I don't like Mayfield's odds if Ekwonu gets beat.